Hey, what's up, here? Jack 79 here. Can we just acknowledge, first off, and just right as we start the video, Thrawn's face when he was informed that Anakin Skywalker was Ahsoka Tano's master? I think that's the first time ever that I've seen him make an "oh shit" face. Gotta love that. You definitely gotta appreciate that because, as we all know, Grand Admiral Thrawn was one of the few that kind of had a hint that Anakin Skywalker had turned into Darth Vader. You know, I had a few Star Wars fans tell me that there was absolutely zero sexual tension between Sabine and Ezra. Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that. We got one more episode. I still think they're going to be ended up making out in the corner after they somehow beat Baylan and Shin. Even though I think Baylan is already gone. He's on a little side mission all for himself, man. And I think they're gonna turn Shin to the light side. This episode, by far, has some of the best Starfighter action sequences in it, for sure. Ahsoka being able to escape out of the depths when she was being targeted by Thrawn, definitely showcasing that training by the best Starfighter pilot in the galaxy. Anakin Skywalker was showing through for sure. I feel like I enjoyed those parts of the episode more so than the actual lightsaber battle. So definitely gotta appreciate that for sure. Just the maneuverability, being able to hide, being able to find Sabine with the Force through the Starfighter or the Jedi fighter that she was in. Super, super cool. She had a really cool training sequence at the beginning of the episode where she was listening to Anakin's recordings that he had left for her. It's a nice little cameo tidbit, any kind of action that we can get from Hayden Christensen appearing as Anakin Skywalker. That's always going to make me a happy boy for sure. And seeing Ahsoka, kind of train with her sabers and her ship was super cool as well. I really like this new stance that she incorporated into her rematch with Baylan. Kind of gave me a samurai feel. So people were kind of having an issue with her not being able to take him down in this episode. I think we're forgetting that Baylan was a fully trained Jedi Knight. He was a general. I don't know if he was a master, but he was clearly a Jedi Knight in the Clone Wars. So him and Ahsoka were basically at the same level. When, during the fall of Jedi themselves, they were basically at the same skill level. I can see them stalemating and not getting the best of one another. So I can appreciate that. We've seen Ahsoka take out some key players in the Star Wars universe. Probably Darth Maul being the biggest one. Definitely seeing her, not being able to take him down was refreshing nonetheless to see. I think we're definitely have our first signing of Shin probably being confused and potentially being turned back to the light. As we saw, that Baylan sent her on her way to finish the mission that Thrawn had sent them on. Apparently, he's not very interested in helping Thrawn get back to the main Star Wars universe. He is set by, I believe it's the Force, on a different path. And I think he's under the impression that Shin is not going to want to have any part of that. He thinks that she is going to want to take her place in the new empire. But as we all know, the Star Wars future, that is not what comes to pass. So I think I'm more interested in her character development and what becomes of her character more so than any other character in this show, by far. Apparently, Ezra is a master force wielder now. Kind of cool. If we go back to Rebels, during his training, that it doesn't mean that you're a Jedi if you just have a laser sword. You have to become one with the Force. Kind of reminded me of the blind dude from Rogue One. That's how he was fighting, except he didn't have a stick. But it was still super cool to just see somebody fight with just the Force. Very, very refreshing to see, for sure. He was taking those dudes out. He was even going tit for tat with Shin, and she couldn't really do anything with him with his Force maneuverability. So if he was utilizing a lightsaber too, he would definitely be relatively dangerous. Absolutely a cool episode for Rebels fans to get to see him and Sabine fight together as one. Sabine with her Mandalorian and rookie Jedi skills, and Ezra with his force wielding abilities. Definitely the action scenes in this episode was some of the best. I think I prefer the Anakin Skywalker episode still, for sure, but it was definitely fresh to really see Sabine showcase her Mandalorian skills and see Ezra showcase his mastery of the Force. At least kind of showcase what kept them safe for all these years. There was a huge rumor going around that it potentially might not be the real Ezra, but just the fake Ezra that the mothers or the sisters conjured up to try to throw them off the path to get Thrawn back to the real Star Wars universe. I don't think that's true. That's, something about the blue eyes, but it just seems like too much for me. I don't think that's going to be the switch that they're going to go with for this series per se. I mean, I think it's the real Ezra. I mean, it was something about his beard that people weren't liking. That's a reach, honestly, in my opinion. I have enjoyed his appearance. I think he looks fine, man. So definitely excited to see how the show ends. Can't wait to see what set path that these characters are going to go forth once they reach the conclusion of this episode. Really, really have enjoyed this series for sure from start to finish. Kind of sad that we're already on our season final. I can't believe it's already been 8 weeks. It's kind of absurd, but that's kind of the theme when it comes to the really good Star Wars shows. They come and they go. So hopefully we'll get a season 2 of Ahsoka, or this story might end up concluding in the movie that Dave Filoni has planned. Either way, I'm all for it. So, like I said, if you enjoyed this video, if you watched all these episodes, if you watched all of my takes and reviews of this series, I thank you. Truly, we have one more, man. So I will see y'all all again next week for sure. You can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You know the drill. If you have comments, if you have thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments section. I'm always open to a dialogue on the passionate Star Wars projects that are really good. So let's do it, man. As always, I'm going to see you guys on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.